Well, good morning, everyone. This is Gail Dudley, the host of News in Motion, and today is Monday. It is the last Monday of the month. It's actually the last day of the month of January. I'm just so excited that you're here with me today. And we have a lot of news to cover, so I'm not going to do a lot with introductions. I'm just so glad to see you here on this morning. I do see you, Camille Hopkins. You're in there on YouTube, so good morning to you. Everyone else, come on in. Let me know who's in here. I see you, Yvonne. Come on in the room, people. We have a lot to talk about that I'm so excited to share. Good morning, Kim Edmondson. Kim Edmondson, when is the date of your wealth building masterclass? I see you, Katrina. Good morning to you. I see you, Karen. I see you, Deborah Sneed. I see you, Sardinia. I see you all. It is so exciting to see you roll up in here on this Monday morning. What's up, Cherie girl? How's the weather your way? Did you get a lot of snow? Good morning to my brother Lewis Pryor the third. Good morning. I know some of y'all are excited because your teams won, and others of you are not as excited because your team didn't do too well. Good morning, Jeffrey Allen James. Good morning, Kelly Lee. Good morning. I can't wait till we get the end zone today from Kenny Stanley as he breaks a lot of this down for us today. I didn't watch. I'm going to just be honest. I didn't watch. But since there is an Ohio team in there, I may watch the Super Bowl. We'll see. I don't know. I'm just not that into it. But hey, all of you all are, and I'm excited. Kim Edmondson, it was scheduled for today, but I'm going to schedule another one for February. Okay, and please let us know. Good morning, John Gore. Good morning. Good morning to you, John. I won't put this on because I know people can watch this. Over 40-something thousand are now downloading this. But I have to call you afterwards or later on today or whatever. Kevin and I had a great discussion about you the other day. So it's funny. We just love you, John. We just love you. Cherie said not a lot of snow, but baby, it's cold outside. Excuse me. Yes, it is cold outside. Good morning, Adrian and Hazel. Good morning, Diane Ladybug. Good morning to all of you. I need all of you to, hey, what's up, Riakis? Good morning, buddy. Good morning, Deborah Johnson. Listen, I need all of y'all to do me a favor. There's a share button, whether you are on YouTube, LinkedIn, wherever, there is a share button. I need you to do me a major favor this morning. It's free. It's totally free. It costs you nothing. Hit that share button and invite people. Put in the message or on your wall post, hey, come on over and check out News in Motion. If you would do that for me, I would greatly appreciate it. I would greatly appreciate it. So we can continue to do what we do. For those of you who are just tuning in, we are aggregated news, which means a news outlet, which means we pull news from different directions. And then we give our relevant commentary with the call to action along with the inspirational message. That's what we do Monday through Thursday. That's what we do. I see you coming up in here, News in Motion. I love how this is moving now. I have different team members. Welcome to Isaiah Jones. That's Latrice and Fred Jones' son. His official start date is not till tomorrow, but I think he's already in here. So excited about that. Good morning, Molly on LinkedIn. I love how this is coming together. All right, y'all, we got a lot of news, but of course we got to start. And y'all, when I say Molly Moses, this was her dad, y'all. This is her dad who broke down this thing for us, and it is bad. Let me tell you, it's bad. I'm so happy that I own it. So let's get started. Don't y'all just love that music? I have many of y'all say that y'all actually dance to it. I do too. So let's start off the show with this beautiful young lady. Our condolences to the family and friends of Chesley Chris, who died yesterday at the age of 30. She was an attorney and won Miss USA in 2019. She sought to help reform America's justice system. In a quote from her family, they say, "In devastation and great sorrow, we share the passing of our beloved Chesley." Excuse me. This was a statement obtained by CNN. They go on to say her great light was one that inspired others around the world with her beauty and strength. She cared, she loved, she laughed, and she shined. As you all know, she was born and raised in North Carolina. She practiced civil litigation for a law firm and worked to help prisoners who may have been sentenced unjustly get reduced punishments free of charge. She was licensed to practice in 2 states, earned her law degree and MBA from Wake Forest University, and completed her undergraduate work at the University of South Carolina, where she was a track athlete. Chesley Chris also worked as a correspondent for entertainment news site Extra TV. Now, what's so important I want to share with you as you are looking at this beautiful woman's picture, if you or someone you know is experiencing depression, resources are available for you. You can call the National Suicide Prevention Hotline. We don't have that number up, but I'm going to give you this number for you all to write it down. The number is 1-800-273-8255. And again, my apologies that I did not put a banner up here with this number. But again, the number, and if someone's in there, Marion, you normally grab these. So if you're in there, if you would write this down. The National Suicide Prevention Hotline is 1-800-273-8255. I'll read that again. National Suicide Prevention Hotline, 800-273-8255. I intentionally did not give all the details because I didn't want to do that on the show. But we do want to send our condolences to her family and her friends and her coworkers as well. And we also just want to say, reach out to somebody. Don't go at this alone. There are people out here who are willing to help you, and there are many, many resources. Thank you so much, Stephanie Burbridge Hall, for putting that in there. Again, that number is 1-800-273-8255. Yes, John Gore. John Gore says, so sad. Suicide is real. Please don't ignore any signs. Any signs. Check on people. Again, I say, watch the conversations you have at other times. Watch those conversations, because those conversations may discourage someone from not coming to you to have the conversation. All right, y'all. And Spotify is in the news. I want to share this before I go into our daily briefing. There's Spotify drama. This is a thing between Neil Young and the streaming music service over podcaster Joe Rogan, who had COVID-19 misinformation. Spotify removed all of Neil Young's music over the weekend. We also have Hall of Fame artist Joni Mitchell, along with others, a legendary singer, songwriter Joni Mitchell, Bruce Springsteen. And that's Joni Mitchell, forgive me. Bruce Springsteen, Brene Brown, who is a best-selling author. You also have Prince Harry and Meghan Markle, who have inked a $25 million podcast deal on the platform. They have been expressing concerns. So right now, people have paused. The reason I am sharing this, I don't have those kind of millions of followers, but after speaking with the team, we also want to join others who are on what they call the lower end of Spotify. So if you know anyone who has been tuning in to hear this or Namosa Fridays on Spotify, we also have paused until further, till we work through some of the things that are happening. I believe those kind of things, these kind of protests, will help people hear our voices, of course, along with voting. So if you listen to us on Spotify, today may be the last day you can hear us on Spotify. We are removing ourselves from Spotify until further notice. So there are many people who have joined that. Now, Spotify did respond yesterday with a number of steps intended to calm this growing storm. I have not seen this take place yet. So we're just going to wait it out like others. They say in adding a label to any podcast episode that discusses COVID-19 and providing a link to his COVID information hub. That's one step they're going to take. They're saying this also publishing is previously hidden misinformation policies. I don't know what that means. And then they asked us a question if we want to know what they are, and of course I do. And they came back and said Spotify will ban content that promotes dangerous, false, or dangerous, deceptive medical information that may cause offline harm or possess a direct threat to public health. That includes claims that COVID-19 is a hoax and that the idea that COVID vaccines are designed to cause death. The CEO, Daniel X, wrote in a blog post, "We have had rules in place for many years, but admittedly, we haven't been transparent around the policies that guide our content more broadly." So until further notice, and again, we don't have the millions, but we have about 20,000 downloads per week on that particular platform on Spotify. So as of tomorrow, I believe February the 1st, we will pause along with many others all across the platform. So if you are a Spotify user, please check us out on any of the other platforms. All right, y'all, here's our daily news brief. Here's our daily news brief from the Council on Foreign Affairs. And I need to also say to you all, there are sometimes I'm going to mess up some of these foreign names. Please forgive me. I go through the whole speech and listening and writing it down to try to give it to you correctly, but I may still mess up. Y'all, North Korea confirms missile tests. North Korean media said that the country conducted 2 rounds of missile tests this week, and leader Kim Jong-un visited the mutation factory. The U.S. Department of spokesperson Price called the test a priority challenge for the United States. So that's what's happening there. In Pakistan, the military said 10 soldiers were killed when militants attacked a security checkpoint in Balochistan Province on Tuesday. No group immediately claimed responsibility for the attack. In Syria, Iran-linked militia have stepped up recruitment in Syria's east, outcompeting the Syrian military with high pay and benefits such as food baskets. And that was actually from the Washington Post reporting. In Rwanda and Uganda, amid warming tides, the countries will reopen their land border, which is East African, on today after 3 years of its closure. In Portugal, they hold a snap election. I'm like, what is that? Voting concludes on yesterday, for a snap election called when the ruling Socialist Party failed to pass its budget due to a lack of support from left-wing parties. So that's happening. In Argentina, plans to make payment to the International Monetary Fund, that's the IMF fund, today, and agreed to balance its primary budget in 2025 as part of the path to a larger deal. Argentina owes the IMF more than $40 billion. In Honduras, yes, y'all, we got 7 today that we pulled out. In Honduras, hours after leaving office, former President Juan Orlando Hernandez obtained immunity from prosecution by being sworn in as a member of the Central American Parliament. U.S. prosecutors have accused him of aiding drug trafficking. So that's your wrap up of Council on Foreign Affairs. That's the daily briefing we wanted to share with you. Now, here's the question. Will he or won't he retire? I don't have that answer, but I'm sure our beloved end zone Kenny Stanley will be able to tell us all about it. So hold on. I'm bringing him on next. Kenny!
What's happening? Good morning, News and Motion family.
Good morning. There's a lot happening. We're down to the final 2. So tell us all about it. But first, tell us, will he or won't he retire? Talk about it. What's his name?
Tom Brady. The last report that I seen, his dad said it's too early to say, and he don't know what his son gonna do. But he's gonna retire. He's done. He's tired. I mean, how much more can the Bionic Man do? I mean, he's been in the league forever. 7 Super Bowls. What else you got to prove? He's the GOAT.
He's a guy. All right. Well, go
He's the
ahead
GOAT.
with your end zone. People are waiting. All I know is that people were talking all since around 2 o'clock yesterday.
Since 2 o'clock yesterday, yeah. All right, welcome to the end zone, everybody, with me, Kenny Stanley. What are y'all doing on February 13th? I know what I'm going to be doing because the Super Bowl 56 is set. We got the AFC champions, Cincinnati Bengals, taking on the NFC champions, Los Angeles Rams. The Bengals punched their ticket by erasing an 18-point deficit and holding the Kansas City Chiefs to 3 second-half points in the second half in overtime. They held them to 3 points. And they came back and won the game 27-24 on a field goal in overtime. What can you say? The Bengals is hot. I tried to tell y'all that last week. They hot. They the hottest team going right now. Rams, NFC champs. They came from behind and beat the San Francisco 49ers. Sorry, Alexander Roseboro, but Jimmy G became Jimmy G again, trying to throw a behind-the-back pass for an interception to seal the game. They beat the 49ers 20-17. So that's your Super Bowl matchup. Who y'all rolling with? Me, myself, I'm kind of leaning towards that Cincinnati team. Is it because they're an Ohio team? I don't know. Is it because of the former Buckeyes on the team? You know, Eli Apple, Sam Hubbard, Joe Burrow. Yeah, I said Joe Burrow. He's a former Buckeye. He only transferred to LSU because he wasn't going to get no playing time. But that was a mistake on OSU's part. Joe Burrow's the man. Or is it because of that orange and black they got on? Or that mascot? You know, a tiger. I'm always going to be a tiger. Orange and black. I think I'm going to go with Cincinnati for the Super Bowl win. We was talking about Tom Brady. Yes, I believe Tom Brady is going to retire. We already got the news last week. Sorry, Pittsburgh. Y'all need to go find y'all a new quarterback because Big Ben is out of there. They both had incredible careers, and they did what they had to do. They got a couple of Super Bowl rings under their belt. Like I said, Brady got 7 of them. They were the best at what they did. They was at the top of their game. That's about it. I haven't really been paying attention to sports. I really haven't been paying attention, especially to the NBA. It's kind of sad right now. I know you Laker fans are losing your mind because looks like LeBron James is going to be out for a couple of weeks. He's going to miss the last 2 games because his knees are sore. They're just playing horrible right now. I don't know what else to say. I guess I'll start taking over watching the NBA now because the Super Bowl is here. So after the Super Bowl, what we got left? There is a new startup league coming in football. It's called the USFL. I think this is his second time around. We'll see. I don't know how I feel about spring football, but we'll see. That's it with the end zone on News in Motion.
I love this. I don't know if you're seeing some of the comments in here, but they're going in. So this is what we want you to do. If you are watching us live and you're watching from one of the platforms, go ahead and put in the chat who you're going for, the Bengals or the Rams. The Bengals or the Rams. This is going
Come on over to the orange and black.
I see people in here talking about if you're in Ohio, you better root for a Cincinnati Bengals.
Come on over to the orange and black. That orange and black won't do you wrong.
I love it. I love it. Thank you so much for your recap, Kenny. For those of you who are wondering, Kenny has been writing about recapping sports for years. We decided to bring him on here on News in Motion on Mondays to give us a recap. We may have to bring him in a couple of times during the week because now the other sports are coming forward. We also have the Olympics that are also being protested. People are in here talking about don't forget hockey and other things, and he's going to start covering all of those. He's also part of the new initiative that I'm in partnership with Molly Huggins and Gina Winks called Power in Partnership, where we're launching people into broadcast media, blog posting, or podcast. And Kenny is going to be starting his podcast soon. So y'all, we are doing this. You can go to my website, which is gaildudley.com, and look at the Power and Partnership initiative and let us know if we can help you along the way. So Kenny is what we call our, not the guinea pig. That's not him. Kenny is that person we're launching first, putting out there. So we want to continue to build him up. We want to continue to cheer him on. This is what we're doing. I believe in helping one another. So Kenny, thank you for today's wrap up on the end zone.
Thank you so much.
You are welcome. I'll see you later.
Everybody have a good one.
All right. All right, y'all. Next up, y'all, man. Now, I'll be honest with y'all. I'm in Ohio. Some of y'all not going to like what I have to say, but I want to tell you, bam, I wish I had some of that. I am dying for some of this kind of snow. Y'all, the East Coast is digging out from a winter storm. At least 100,000 homes are without power over the weekend as a powerful storm moved up the East Coast. I'm telling you, we need to get our weather person. Judy Gore, where are you? The system dropped snow from the mid-Atlantic through the Northeast, with Massachusetts bearing the brunt of the storm. Boston recorded almost 24 inches of snow in the course of a single day, tying a record that was set in 2003. Nearby Providence, Rhode Island, broke its own single-day snowfall record. It was almost up to 19 inches, I believe, on Saturday. So, y'all, on top of the snow, the storm brought near hurricane-force winds in some areas and left bitter temperatures in its wake. The weather caused the cancellation of more than 3,500 flights. That's what's happening, y'all. I want some of that snow. I don't know what it is. I just want some of that snow. Give me just 12 inches. Give me like 14 inches. I'll be satisfied. I just need some snow. I just need some snow every year. I just want some snow. And what we had out there the other week, that was nothing, y'all. That was absolutely nothing. All right, y'all. How ironic. ABC7 gave me courtesy for this image. The New York Times is reporting the Pittsburgh Bridge collapsed hours before Biden's infrastructure visit. At least 10 people sustained non-threatening injuries, officials said, according to an analyst addressing the structural issues of Pittsburgh. Nearly 450 bridges could cost more than $458 million. Now, y'all, this all happened Friday morning, right before President Biden was scheduled to visit the city to discuss the condition of the country's infrastructure. The bridge collapsed into a snowy hullabaloo. So y'all, that is what's happening. I was like, Joe Manchin, where are you now? All right, y'all, believe it or not. Now I'm like, and I like this because this is now messing with my mimosas. And I see you, Mike Nicholson. We're praying for your recovery from COVID. You got hit hard with this, and we are praying your immediate covering, your complete healing. But y'all, in this shortage, and it's messing up my mimosas. Woo! There's an orange juice shortage. Yep. Orange juice consumption actually rose to a 5-year high during the pandemic. Just how much? Well, in 2020, Americans guzzled 741,000 gallons of this stuff. But in 2022, it might be tough because it's hard to find this orange juice. A recent USDA forecast predicts that this will be the smallest Florida orange harvest in more than 75 years, and orange juice prices will likely increase as a result. The numbers are going to go up for orange juice. Now, I've been watching this battle come out with Marjorie Taylor Greene and the Tyler Perrys and those who are over, oh God, what's the name of them? Marvel movies, because all of this is happening in Atlanta. Bam! Marjorie Taylor Greene wants to kick the $9.5 billion Hollywood movie industry out of Georgia. And she says, and I quote, and it is on her social media. She's no longer on Twitter. She got kicked out. But she goes, I don't think we should have invited those people here to begin with. Y'all, she used the word those people, and it caused a big fight. Now, she may not be on Twitter, but Black Twitter ain't having it. Black Twitter is not having it. Y'all, Georgia's home to several movie studios. One, The Walking Dead, and parts of Marvel. Just recently, when I had to go through Atlanta to get back home, and I was there with my mother-in-law overnight, and my husband and my daughter, we were just driving around. My mother-in-law doesn't live far from the Marvel Studios there. We were seeing some, because we were traveling down this dark road at night looking for something that we were trying to check out. We could see some of it. I guess it's the Black Panther 2, and you can see it. You can see them like flying around, of course, on the chains and whatever. You can see the background and all the different people who were there. Then you can go by Tyler Perry Studios, that is huge, and everything, and it's $9.5 billion industry that's coming in yearly. She told those people, again, her quote is, I don't think we should have invited those people here to begin with. Say, who's those people? Let's start there. Who's those people? Y'all, the houses around the Marvel Studios, which is in Fayetteville, Georgia, the houses around there are $1 million, and there's a whole lot of them, and they're still building. Right now, they're putting up some homes, they're putting up some apartments or condos. That's $795,000. I'm talking just a one-bedroom apartment, a condo. Are you kidding me? Those people, who are you talking about? Those people. Y'all, in Georgia, for instance, the Department of Economic Development reports that the state has a record-breaking year in its fiscal year 2021. The film industry is spending in the city right now $4 billion on the productions in the state. $4 billion. That's with a B. That's with a B. Y'all are in here firing it up. I see y'all in the chat. For those of you who are wondering what I'm doing when I'm responding to the chat, you're more than likely on audio. What I'm responding to is they're live on either Facebook, because this is being streamed to Facebook, YouTube, and LinkedIn. So they're having conversation with me. That's what makes this news different. I go and see what they're saying, and we're having conversation. Now, you're on audio, you're driving, you stay driving, you just listen. But you can always go to one of the platforms later and join the conversation. That's the beauty of it. It doesn't go away at all. It doesn't go away at all. All right, y'all. Elon Musk is in the news, and I think this is just hilarious. Elon Musk offered a Florida teen $5,000 to delete a Twitter account tracking his jet. I think this is hilarious. Now, it wasn't enough. Jack Sweeney, his name is Jack Sweeney, and he is age 19, and he's from Florida. He rejected the $5,000. I'm with you, Jack Sweeney. Come on, $5,000? That ain't doing nothing for me. Did you actually have the nerve, Elon Musk, to only offer $5,000? Whatever. Y'all, he rejected the $5,000 offer from Elon Musk to delete his Twitter account that tracks the billionaire's private jet. Now, Elon Jet has over 150,000 followers. Now, Elon Jet is what Jack Sweeney put together to track Elon Musk's jet. And he uses bolts that Sweeney developed to monitor Elon Musk's flights. I don't know why he's monitoring, but whatever. And it says the feed went on in the tweet that the plane takes off and it lands, and where it's going, and the duration of each trip. This is what this young 19-year-old is doing. All right, y'all. The college freshman has developed a dozen of other Flightbots accounts that tracks travelers of high-profile tech titans, including Bill Gates and Jeff Bezos. I'm like, dude, what are you tracking? But anyway, just keep following me. So Elon Musk says in a quote, "Can you take this down? It's a security risk." Now, the Tesla and SpaceX CEO eventually offered the teenager $5,000 to help prevent, and he puts in a quote, "crazy people" from tracking his flight. Now, Sweeney countered-offered. I was like, go, Sweeney, go. Y'all, this is playing out on Twitter, and it's amazing. He countered-offered and said, no, $50,000. Saying that he could use the money for college, and maybe along with the $50,000, give him a Tesla Model 3. That's what Sweeney's asking for. He's 19 years old. He's already in the negotiation game like no one has ever seen it, y'all. He's asking for some serious money. So then Elon Musk says, "I don't love the idea of being shot by a nutcase." Now, this is Elon Musk's response to the higher price. We go from $5,000 to $50,000. Now, the last text message exchange, which was last Wednesday, Musk, when Musk said it didn't feel right to pay to shut this down. What do you mean didn't feel right? You started with 5,000, Elon. So the Sweeney, who got some sense, comes back 50. I would have came back with 100 grand. How about that? Now he comes back, and so then he comes back and says, well, let's not talk about this. Is Sweeney. He comes back and says, okay, let's look at other options. Remuneration, like an internship, would make taking it down a lot easier. Give me an internship, I'll take it down. Elon Musk hasn't responded. Really? You thought $5,000 was going to shut somebody down who is obviously gifted? If he's tracking these type of flights, don't you want him on your team? Don't you want him on your team? I don't get it. So he hasn't responded. So people, CNN and CNBC and Forbes and others have reached out to Jack Sweeney, and Elon Musk hasn't responded. I'm with you, Mike Nichols. He said, give me a full ride. 50 is 1 year at my alma mater. Listen. Do something that's worthy. So behind this, y'all want to talk about a social media scam. Please pay attention. Y'all, more than 95,000 people have lost a collective $770 million. That's with the M, due to fraud on social media. This was in 2021. A new FTC report found that represents 25% of all reported losses to fraud in 2021, and a breathtaking 18 times increase over social media scam losses in 2017. Why do I want to pause here to talk about that? I want to pause here to talk about that. Be careful what you're buying. People are saying they are buying into programs. They're buying into clothing. They're buying into real estate. They're buying into Bitcoin. They're buying into things. Do your research first. On here on News in Motion, we talk about how to research things, how to vet different programs. I'm not going to talk about today. You can go back and look at past episodes, but be careful before you just buy in. Look at the followers. If you don't know a follower that's on there, then they may not be somebody that you want to follow here or buy from. Here's the other thing, y'all, and this is so important. We've talked about this on here many a times. If somebody has 9, 10, 11 million followers, and you see a lack of engagement, it's probably not a real site. People buy followers. People can't. I could, but I would never buy followers because I want to keep the engagement available. I still respond to people along with the team, but I'm always trying to make sure that I'm responding to people. Yes, Mike Nicholson people buy followers. Now, listen, so you want to check it out, y'all. 770 million, 95,000 people. It's a 25% increase from 2017. People, there's a lot of scam. There's a lot of fraud out there. Vet the people first. It is important to vet the people first before you just go out here and buy different things. Please do that for your safety and your security. If you want to find out anything about vetting, we're going to do a webinar on our Patreon account sometime, probably either the 15th or 16th of February. We will put that information on the Patreon account. On Patreon, you get it absolutely free. Join our Patreon, y'all. It's $15 a month to get things like this. And we're going to have a specialist come on to talk about how you can vet and not be scammed on social media. All right, y'all, it's time for our inspirational message. As y'all know, I've been talking about the Lord's Prayer all last week. Well, I have one more take on the Lord's Prayer before I let this go. Now, I was reading this weekend. The Lord's Prayer. Y'all know I went through every part of it over last week, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. I went over every part of it last week. But y'all, this is what I saw. I asked God when I was reading this. Now I'm reading out the New International Version today, where it says, forgive us our debts as we have also forgiven our debtors, and lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. Now in the King James Version, it says, It says, Our Father which art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread. Forgive us our trespasses as we forgive those who trespass against us. Lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. I asked the question, God, why that prayer? Why that prayer? Because he says, and this is how you should pray. Not saying that this is the prayer you should pray every day. He's saying this is how you should pray. And then each of these are a component to how you should pray. Our Father, which art in heaven, you should be praying out to our Father. That's an amazing name, a healing name, a powerful name. Just He's Savior, He's Lord. Y'all remember, I'm a believer. Those of you who are tuning in, the inspirational message has always gone to this piece. But it's okay. Just hang in there. There could be something in here that you can hold on to today if you're not a follower of Jesus. It's okay. Just hang out here with me just for a moment. But listen, I'm reading this. I'm like, why this prayer? Exactly. What is it that you're saying? He's saying, well, this is how you should pray. This is how you should pray. This is what your prayer should entail. And so I kept going back. I said, but what about this? And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. So I started digging into this and I started praying, and I had the Greek and the Hebrew, and I'm looking at all these different factors trying to get an understanding. I said, okay, God, I get that this is how you wanted us to pray. Y'all know I talk about the inductive study method. So real quick, there are 3 components to the inductive study method. There's the observation, where you are observing what's going on. So when I observe this, first of all, they're probably sitting on the ground somewhere. They're probably just having a conversation. So this is how you should pray. And I thought, why? So my observation, who's there? The disciples are there. He's teaching them how to pray. That's what he's doing. That's the observation. The interpretation, this is not where you read into the Bible, but this is where you pull out from the Bible. The interpretation is, this is how God would have us to pray. We don't have to pray this particular prayer every day, but here's the components to praying. Here are the components. And then I said, okay, what's the life application to this? Because that's the third part. You have observation, interpretation, you have application. I said, what's the application of this? Well, this is what I got from this. Y'all, hold on, because it's getting ready to come at you. Get your pen and paper. I want you to take a deep breath in and a deep breath out, because I'm getting ready to just mess everybody up, because it messed me up. And if I got messed up over the weekend, it's my job to mess you all up. God said, well, number one, I'm asking you to pray. This is my interpretation. I'm asking you to pray that I not lead you in temptation, because this says to me, and I was like, oh God, you're deep. You're just really deep. You're going to be tempted. And there's going to be some things you want to do because you're human. You're going to be tempted to do these things. So I would suggest every day you ask me not to lead you into temptation and to deliver you from evil. Well, Jesus, why? What? You think I'm evil? Well, if I'm telling you to pray this way, there must be some evil ways in you that you need to get under control. What? Yes, y'all. When God was breaking this down to me, I said, well, God, what are some of my evil ways? It can be something real simple. Something real. You think nothing to it, because we've been programmed to think, oh, that's okay. There's something more to this. Our Father, which art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come. Thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Which means go ahead and party while you're down here. Just party like you would have me, like I would have you to party. Don't go all buck wild doing something that you shouldn't be able to do. And I'm tired of these bots coming in here, putting stuff in here. I did not get permission for anything like that. When I want a doctor on here, I'll call a doctor on here. But until then, just ignore that bot. But listen, he's saying, go ahead and have a good time while you're down here. And then we says, thy will. You know, when we're praying thy will, we're saying, God, what is your will for me? He's saying, he's teaching them, this is how you should pray. This it's right there. This is how you should pray. It's in there. I don't care what translation you're looking at. This is in here. He's teaching them how to pray. He says, our Father, hallowed be thy name. Your kingdom come. Your will be done. Your will be done. God, every day I may be praying something, but God, you know, God is saying, your prayer, trust me, you want it to be my will, not your will. Because my will, you're going to be in right step with me. And your will, you're going to go all half-cock out here doing something you have no business doing. So pray my will. Pray my will. And then it goes on and says, give us today our daily bread. I talked about this. Give me enough for today. See, some of us are so greedy. We want the whole kit and caboodle. He's like, you can't even handle that. Let me give you just enough for today. And when I give you just enough for today, don't compare that with anybody else, with anybody else's offering. I'm going to give you what I need to give you for today. And please be satisfied with today. Please be satisfied with today. While I was trying to understand why this prayer, and I read this prayer, prayed this prayer for years since I was a little kid. It's like, you have that heartburn because you've eaten something you have no business eating. It's not fitting right, but you can eat that same thing a week later and there's no heartburn and it's okay. He's saying, just give me today our daily bread and forgive us our trespasses. I'm going to go back to that just momentarily. Y'all, no matter what language I looked up trespasses, they all mean the same thing. All mean the same thing. All mean the same thing. That's your land. That's your business. That's your place. That's your family. Even if you've invited other people into and onto your land. Guys, like, did you ask me? Did you pray first? Did you pray? Because you could be inviting somebody onto your stuff that is going to trespass against you. Well, later you're going to have to forgive them, or they're going to have to forgive you, because he never told you to bring them in the first place. I said a whole lot right there. Y'all just replay this, listen to it, because I'm telling y'all, I'm giving y'all something God's given to me. He says, stop just inviting people. Pray and ask me if they're the ones you should be inviting. Hello, somebody. We're asking a lot of forgiveness for things. And God's like, I never told you to do that in the first place. You're too quick. Back to daily bread. Give me enough for today. Whatever that looks like, give me enough for today. Trespassing, stop trespassing. Stop being in other people's business, other people's families, other people's affairs. That's not for you, and you're being distracted anyway. So we need to ask for forgiveness. Lead me not into temptation. Yeah, let me go back there and I'm almost done. Lead me not into temptation. See, he had to give us that prescription because he knows we're going to be tempted. He knows we're going to be tempted. He said, y'all better pray this, because I'm going to start blocking things if you pray this and stay on my will and stay on my way and deliver us from evil. Now, come on, he told the disciples, y'all evil. There's an evil streak in you. He put that in the prescription for us to pray. There's a reason why he told them to pray that way. Y'all, when I got through on this, my study time this weekend, Saturday and Sunday, y'all, I jumped for joy, because God is like, what he's really doing in this prayer, he's reading us. He's reading us. He told them, these are the things you're going to do. So this is how you should pray. Man, yes. For if you forgive men, they will forgive you, Heavenly Father. But if you do not forgive men their sins, your Father will not forgive your sins. It comes down to a sin issue, y'all. It's what it comes down to. It's a sin issue. And we all have it. We all have to live with it. Now, y'all didn't expect the Bible study today, but I had to. So look up the inductive study method. We've been talking about prayer all the month of January. We got a different thing for going into February for inspirational message. But I want you to understand the inductive study method. Now, if you want the inductive study method, come on over to Patreon, because I'm going to give you the full thread of it so that you can use that to study God's word. See, y'all, Patreon is more than just a news recap. In Patreon, we're talking business. We're talking Bible study. We're having different people come on. We got our list rolling in here starting February of different people. We're going to come on doing webinars that we leave up for, I think it's like 30 days before we take them down. But there's so much there. There's so much there. All right. I know some of you are going to work, you got to go. Some of you going to school, you got to go. So many of us have different things we have to do. We have to do it. Again, y'all, tomorrow, I'm so excited that Isaiah Jones will be with us. He will be working all the background with all the banners and things. Y'all be patient with him. Be patient with him. I believe in on-the-job training, so he will be training. He may put up the wrong banner. He'll take it down. It's okay. He may put up the wrong commercial. He'll take it down. It's okay. Just be patient. Just be patient. I believe in training up people. I believe in encouraging people, and that's what's happening right here at News in Motion. Y'all, we're looking for our News in Motion ambassadors. We're looking for ambassadors to help as we start doing this movement with voting in partnership with all the other websites websites that I have given you in partnership. Y'all, I'm gonna pat myself on the back just one moment here. Y'all, as y'all know, the news, the Namosa Fridays podcast is going to be changing to the News in Motion podcast starting this Friday. And this past Friday, I did a piece on voting. I heard it in my husband's office. He was listening to it. And I walked past his office and I said, dang, that sounds good. I know what I'm talking about. Y'all, the number of downloads from that podcast has blown me away. And people are writing in. I'm like, I found my footing. And you should be excited for yourself when you find your footing and what you enjoy. All right, y'all, I'm Gail Dudley. I'm your host of News in Motion. I'll be back here tomorrow, God willing, at 7:25 a.m. Eastern. Until then, y'all stay well, wash your hands, wear your mask, practice social distancing. And y'all know what I say, y'all. Let's make some bold moves. I'm out.